Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in, folks. You've got The Local Show with Tom and Steve, where we champion local businesses and talk about what they do, and we'll get into some multi-generational businesses, why they do business right here in Syracuse, New York. It's all good business talk right here on 570 WSYR. We have somebody new to the show right now, Steve. If you've ever seen a rabbit before, now you can see one close up. Her name is Laurie Hunter. How are you, Annie?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you. Oh, us, because she's got a rabbit with her.
She's bearing gifts,
and she didn't pull it out of her hat. She just brought it out of a little kennel thing.
Right.
So, Annie, tell me, are you a local gal? Were you born and raised here in Syracuse?
I spent 7 years of my childhood here, and then I was part of the mass exodus of 72.
The mass exodus of
72. Oh, my goodness. And where'd you go?
I went to Pennsylvania, and then Eastern New York, and then Rhode Island, New York City, and came back here.
What did you do that for? Was it work taking you places, or?
Parents.
Oh,
yes.
Parents.
The mass exodus is 72. I was 10.
Oh, right. Yes. Here we go.
Yeah, they were like, get in the back of the car.
that would be the size of it, yes.
Yeah, that's just, so when did you pick up a rabbit?
So I've been doing rescue for 20 years. When I was in New York City, I had a bunny, and it ended up being the comfort bunny for Rescue 1. When the trade towers fell down.
Oh, wow.
And because I lived next door to Rescue 1.
I didn't know that was a thing with bunnies, yeah.
So she was a rescue bunny, a comfort bunny. And then when I came up here to Syracuse, I was working in rescue as a foster parent for other groups, and then opened up Hunter Holllow.
So why do rabbits need to be rescued?
Because if you buy 2 rabbits at the pet store, chances are they're not the same gender. And bunnies have a 30-day gestation period.
Okay, Tom, don't make Tom do the math.
Yeah, but that's quick, in other words.
Well, every time they have a litter, they can get pregnant again.
Oh, my gosh.
So when you've got 2 bunnies, suddenly you have got 10 bunnies.
Ooh.
And then you've got 18 bunnies.
Yeah,
and then it goes exponentially as they mature.
That's where the expression comes from. I've heard that before.
That is where it comes from.
So do people buy bunnies and rabbits that shouldn't?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, if you can buy a bunny at a pet store, they're not spayed or neutered.
Okay.
All of ours are spayed, neutered, and vaccinated. And so we don't have the explosion problem. Mm-hmm. So then we're down to just life change issues. Sometimes people get sick. Yeah. Or they have to move, or their family dynamic changes and they need to get rid of their bunny. And that's who we're really for.
Yeah.
But we end up with all kinds of bunnies from explosions.
Gotcha. What's your educational background? I mean, do you have a veterinary degree, or
do you just love bunnies?
Or do you just love bunnies?
No, I have a degree in psychology and education and social work. So by profession, I'm a home inspector.
Well, those things naturally. I was going to say that because those things
they all go together. So this is an all volunteer organization.
Oh, okay.
So tell us about. Am I able to hold the bunny, or is that
Sure.
do you need a permit to do that?
This is hilarious. He's 1 year old.
Hello, hilarious.
That's interesting because Steve is hilarious.
So if people hello, hilarious. So online web viewers can see.
Yes, the YouTube. You can see this beautiful bunny.
The YouTube can see this beautiful little bunny.
Our bunnies, we had a bunny at one point. We have 2 daughters. And, of course, when they were teens, gotta have a bunny. I said, they're a lot of work. You really need to take care of it and this and that. Because sometimes the cage would be littered with litter.
Your wife told you the same thing before you had Nicholas, didn't she?
Well, that's true, too, before we had the boy. But, I guess the point is that I really thought that the bunny would be more social, more like a cat with us after a while. Is there any time that bunnies are like a dog or a cat where they're very affectionate?
Some bunnies love to be held. Other times there's bunnies that they want to be in the room with you. So they're sort of aloof like a cat, but they want to be with you.
So they are a social animal.
Oh, very much so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. What about what's the difference between Hilarious here and some of the bunnies you have and the bunnies that are under my shed? And I say it nicely because they're like pets. We got about 5, 6, 7 of them.
Great. Those are cottontails.
Okay.
The eastern cottontail is a wild animal. Hilarious is a domestic rabbit, and they're two different breeds. The two cannot.
Really?
Yeah, the eastern cottontail is a native North American breed.
Okay.
Domestic rabbits all of them come from European breeds, so they cannot intermingle. They
That's
are
a great question.
I
completely
didn't know
different
that.
species.
Okay.
So a rabbit. So I mean,
And you're pretty confident that the ones under my shed are cottontails.
They're brown. They've got white bellies.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
them.
You
saw them.
Yeah.
So if a domesticated rabbit runs away, that's not good because
No, that's called a feral domestic.
Oh, okay.
And those, if somebody finds a feral domestic, we automatically take those in.
Okay.
I mean, right now, we're 4 times our capacity.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
So do you encourage people to come and adopt?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we're having big time this weekend getting people to adopt. We've got extended hours from 9 to 4,
Okay.
Saturday and Sunday. And then over Labor Day weekend, we'll have a big adoption event. We've got 120 bunnies ready for adoption.
Good golly.
So how do they do that?
Yeah, how do you make that happen?
They contact me. We do a phone interview, make sure they be a good fit for a bunny, make sure they're allowed to have a bunny.
Right. Yeah.
You know, because the reason that we get bunnies is somebody brought them home from the fair and mom went, not in my house.
Right.
Or they went and got a bunny from the pet store and then the landlord saw it.
Yeah, right.
So we want to make sure that the bunny's going to have a stable home, you know, throughout its life, because it should be a lifetime commitment, which is 10 to 12 years.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, 10 to 12
Wow.
years. That's great.
Yeah. And we want to help people learn to take care of the bunnies. So we have, you know, volunteer times. Everything we do is volunteer.
How smart is a bunny?
They can count to 4. They have a 4-month memory. They can figure things out. If they're motivated, they'll figure out how to do stuff.
So when you come home, does the bunny like run over wag its tail and knock the door down to give you a hug and a kiss like a dog would?
The bunny will come and say hi.
It will.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So
not like a
that's
cat.
Not like a cat. You know, and bunnies know their schedule. They know when it's dinner time. They know when it's time for sitting down and being quiet. And
That's interesting. Now, should anyone ever take the rabbits that are under the shed or under the deck and try to make them domestic pets?
it won't work.
It just won't.
They're wild animals, and every time you enter the room, they're going to panic. Even if you raise them as babies, which I do because I'm a wildlife rehabber.
Okay.
So when they get to a certain age, they start panicking when I enter the room. That's how I know it's time to release them. And off they go into the wild. You can't get past that with a cottontail.
I see.
So I'm holding this bunny.
Yes, it's
And
wonderful.
I don't know. It's
Isn't he wonderful?
He's
Very
wonderful.
comfortable,
And
yeah.
if again, folks on YouTube can see, I thought he'd be squirming and try to get away. He's just loving life as I just pet him.
That's hilarious. He's 1 year old. He's ready to go. He came in because people couldn't take care of him anymore. He's been neutered, vaccinated, and
That's wonderful.
So hunterhollow.org is the information, and people can find the information there in the business. If you want to call and ask a bunny question, 315 area code, that's the big one, Tom.
Yes.
463-6757. Questions
Correct.
about bunny, 463-6757. Hunter Holllow.
All right. Annie, Laurie, Hunter right there. Thank you so much. And thank you for all you do.
thank you.
All right. Coming up next, Steve, I don't know what we're doing. I got to be honest with you. Oh, Sheila. We'll talk with Sheila Ostrom.
Oh, that's it. Oh, hey, we love Sheila. Senior Home Care
right.
Solutions.
That's right. Coming up on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.